Hey there, crypto traders and investors. It's Rod with the POW Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best crypto community. It's Tuesday, December 10th. Hope you're well. And we have another update, exciting update. This time it has to do with RLUSD, and they have received the final approval. So Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO, just posted this about 20 minutes ago on X, and it said it should be live soon. And this was impeccable timing, really, as the market was continuing to see weakness, and we had Microsoft shareholders vote no on adding Bitcoin to the reserves. So like I said, impeccable timing, really. And I was mentioning this in the POW Group private community. I was going to say, now's the time to release some positive news, and that would more than likely be RLUSD, and we got it. So great to see. Stop the bleeding, at least for now. And we'll take a look at the chart here in just a moment. But before we do, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future content. And full disclosure, I do own XRP. It's my largest holding. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. So you can see here we are rebounding. Bitcoin hit about 94,000. So far, it's a double bottom at the moment. And we have the whole sector bouncing at the moment. We had XRP hit $1.90. So we had key support at $1.96, and it looked like we were heading lower from that point, but this news kind of offsetting some of that weakness. So as of right now, off of the low, we have bounced about a little over 15%. Excuse me. And if we take a look here at the tweet, so this just in, we have the final approval from the DFS for RLUSD. Exchange and partner listings will be live soon. And a reminder, when RLUSD is live, you'll hear it from Ripple first. So they got the final approval, not live yet, but it should be live soon, I would think, in the next couple of days. And then this was the news of the day today as well with regards to Bitcoin. Microsoft said no. The board recommended voting no as well. I mean, this is pretty wise in my opinion. Like, why would you add Bitcoin to the reserves at all-time highs? Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. And we still don't know who created Bitcoin. Can you imagine a company like Microsoft adding an asset to the reserves where they don't even know who the creator is, right? It could be North Korea, it could be Russia, it could be, some other, rogue, agency, or, it just wouldn't be good, right? If there was any kind of news that came out. So I think that was the most likely scenario. I think it's probably wise. Again, if Bitcoin were at $10,000 or even $50,000, okay. But this late in the cycle, I think it would be a massive mistake. And you can see here, Microsoft said no Bitcoin archive to the internet browser, mobile, smartphone, and social media each time they had to pay a huge price to get back into the game or even missed out forever. And they said no to Bitcoin, at least for now, right? I don't think it's no forever, but we really do need to have clarity on who created Bitcoin. They also said no to the smartphone and, Steve Jobs' iPhone, but at least we know who created the iPhone, right? We don't know who created Bitcoin. Apparently, the Homeland Security in the U.S. said that it's a group of 4 people. They met with the 4 Satoshis. So we'll see what happens. But, I think this was overall a smart move by Microsoft and the shareholders. So if we take a look at XRP here, so it was a bit of a loss here of the 0.382 fib and a bit of a bear trap. We're rebounding here nicely with a nice lower wick here. So I would consider this a save in terms of this weekly bull flag that I mentioned earlier. I just posted a video earlier on today, and XRP, the final shakeout before all-time high. I do think this is the final shakeout. I think we'll see all-time highs more than likely at some point between now and the end of December. Maybe the first or second week of January, but I do think that it's coming within weeks. And if we take a look at this weekly bull flag, it's targeting just under $12, and it also lines up with the Bitcoin all-time price history index fractal that says we could hit somewhere around $14 to $16 between now and March of 2025. And then something I want to highlight here as well is Total 3 held it perfectly on this pullback. So Total 3 is the total market cap of crypto excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So the true alt kind of measurement here and gauge. And this is really looking good here at the moment. All we need to do is confirm the break of 1.16 trillion. That will confirm the weekly bull flag will be targeting 1.9 trillion. We'll also have a cup and handle that would be north of 2 trillion. So this is looking fantastic at the moment. So like I said, this is impeccable timing from RLUSD and Ripple. There's talks that, RLUSD could make XRP go to $100 per coin. It's going to be used in cross-border remittances. So essentially, whenever they go to transfer, out of one currency, into RLUSD and then into XRP, and then out of XRP back into whatever currency on the other end, right? I don't want to, get into the nuts and bolts. It's like I try to tell this to people all the time, right? Nobody knows for sure to the degree that this is going to impact price, at least this cycle. And you don't need to be a developer, right? Like I was talking to my partner about this the other day. She's like, I'm going to order a blockchain for dummies book, and I'm going to pay $30 or $40 for this book, and then I'm going to buy another book. And I'm like, basically, you're like, if you're a developer, right? There's not really any reason to understand the intricacies and the exact details of how the blockchain works. Like, you can just go to YouTube and sign up for free, right? And you can just find content for free teaching you about blockchain. That's all you need, right? You don't need this whole, you don't need to pay money. You can go to YouTube and understand it. So for example, if you're investing in, Tesla, are you reading, a book on how electric engines work, or, how electric batteries work? Or if you're investing in, Toyota or something like that, are you going to go and like research exactly how a combustion engine works? Probably not the most relevant information. Same thing with an iPhone. If you're investing in Apple, are you going to take a semiconductor semiconductor course? Like, it just doesn't really, you don't need to know how everything under the hood works, right? Just like in a car, you get in a car and you drive it, it works. As long as you know it works and there's real partnerships and real world utility, that's the main thing, right? And everything else is just, available online. You can get a very high level overview. So as of right now, this is a nice recovery. If we do drop below 190, there's a good chance that we hit 175, potentially 160. I just want to go back and remind everybody as well that in 2017, we had a similar move, right? We had a break out of this pennant. I'll just zoom in here as well. And then we had the high of 2014 ended up being the new support level, right? So we came back down, confirmed that as support, but we had a huge breakout. It broke out about 12x. And then we had a pullback of around 64%, I think it was. Yeah, 64%. So one thing we have to remind ourselves is each time, we have a breakout in a new bull market, the pullbacks generally end up being less and less, right? And then law of diminishing returns as well. So, just like Amazon in the early days, or just like Apple, or just like any big conglomerate or company, these pullbacks tend to get smaller and smaller and smaller, just like Amazon in the early days. So if we pulled back, 64%, 65% back in 2017 during that massive breakout, then where could we pull back to this to go round, right? It might be 40%, 50%, right? A little bit lower than that. So if we just reset the scale here and we go from the high to the low, we've now pulled back about 35%. So if we were to pull back to around the $1.60 area, I don't think it'd be out of the world. That'd be about a 44% pullback. I can't see us pulling back much more than that, maybe $1.50, but I can't see us pulling back much more than that at the moment. So, it's a good save here at the moment, still a weekly bull flag. So we'll see what happens here over the next couple of days as things fizzle out. But XRP on the weekly macros still looking fantastic. Weekly 50 and 200 weekly moving average bull cross. And as those cross, there's usually multiple months of upside that ensues, right? Look what happened here. The last time across bullish went from about 11 cents up to almost $2. Last time this happened on Ethereum, price went from about $600 all the way up to about $500 per coin, or sorry, for $5,000 per coin, 600 from 600 to 5,000. So this is great news. I think RLUSD is going to be a complete game changer. I think we're going to see Ripple, just good news after good news after good news. Case dismissal, whether or not it settles, dismiss. I think, there's a good chance that it settles. I would say that's the most likely scenario. But this is just impeccable timing, really. So don't worry. I know it's scary whenever things pull back from $2.90 to $1.90. It seems like that's unhealthy. But if you, when in doubt, zoom out, and if you look at that weekly chart, when something goes up 500%, 600%, you need to expect a 20-30% pullback, maybe even 40%, and that's what we're dealing with right now. So this is great news. Like I said, we should see this live in the next couple of days. You should see it on exchanges, things like that, and going to be a huge competitor to the likes of Tether and Circle. And there's a lot of controversy right now with regards to Tether, whether or not it's going to be even allowed to survive. So I don't think it will be. And that could be one of the main reasons, I think, for the next bear market as well, if we see a complete collapse of Tether. So just be careful. I would be using USDC and RLUSD going forward as the most compliant. All right, going to end it there. Let me know what you think of this news. It's Rod with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth, and we'll catch you again on the next video.